launching. Okay, so what I found was even in some wind, you may have to goose the throttle a little bit to get it to turn into the wind, but about 60% throttle prevents it from dumping it over so hard, especially in the wind. You want to be a little flatter with your turns, so close, a little flatter on the turns in the wind, well, anytime really, because full throttle will really kind of dump it over, you know. So if you're a little softer on your yaw control and keep your throttle at around 60%, it makes for a much flatter turn with this plane. Come on, wind. So close. We're so close here to a hover. So close to a hover. But you see about 60% throttle. Did you see how flat that was when I turned it back? Okay, now we're going to try that again. Coming from this direction, not so flat, but at least it's not really dumping it over hard, you know. Since you don't have any ailerons, you don't have any roll authority, you want to try and keep your turns flat. Oh, we are so darn close to a hover here. I need that 1 mile an hour additional wind I spoke about last time, but at least we don't have completely gray skies out today, so it should be a little bit easier to see it. Putting in a little bit of yaw and a little bit of elevator on those turns to keep the nose up and try and keep it flat. Alright, so let's turn back downwind and descend a little bit on the way back. Alright, pulling the throttle back a bit. Pulling the throttle back a little bit and just working the yaw. Try to keep it pointed into the wind without getting too slow. But that's just a 3-channel plane, guys. With an all-up weight of 101 grams, a 3-channel plane and some significant wind. I would say there for a little bit it was gusting over 10. I'm just going to work it back this way. It looks like I'm getting a bit of a wind shift here. Cutting throttle. I'm off the throttle. What a fun little 3-channel plane. I'm just having a blast with it. This is the third pack that I received with it. This is the third pack that I've got in it right now. Alright, I'm almost completely off the throttle now. I am having a blast with this plane. Didn't that look like a nice smooth turn coming back into the wind there? What little wind I have right now. It's backed off again. This is just a very stable airframe. I wouldn't have thought you could fly a 3-channel plane like this well in some significant wind, but one of these afternoons I'm going to have, or mornings, I'm going to have some wind out here over 10 miles per hour, and I will be putting this plane in the air when that happens. Let's see if I can hover it. a little gusty. So close to a hover. So close to a hover. So close. Just can't quite get it. Can't quite get that hover out of it. Turning downwind. See, did you see how well that pivoted right there? With a little bit of back pressure on the elevator and a little bit of yaw control, and like right there, I mean, that was a pretty smooth turn for the little 3-channel plane going downwind and then turning back upwind again. Look at that. That's awesome. Alright, a little yaw control, about 60% throttle, trying to keep it flat, backing off the throttle again, trying to get it pointed into the wind, which is backing off again. Now I've got to get back in the throttle because my wind is gone again. But look at that. Doesn't that handle well? I mean, there's a little method to it with a 3-channel plane like this. But about 60% throttle and about half of your stick for your yaw, and it will keep it pretty flat. It will keep it pretty flat and maintain its altitude. You know, it won't dump a wing over or dump the nose over. And just a little bit of back pressure on the elevator to keep the nose up, and it makes a pretty flat turn. Look at that. That's awesome. That's awesome for a little 3-channel plane. Now we'll go back to the left again. A little back pressure on the elevator. Makes a nice little coordinated turn. Turn to the left again. A little back pressure on the elevator. It's a pretty tight turn. Get it straightened back up into the wind again, backing off the throttle a little bit. So close. Alright, well, that wasn't too bad. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.